Everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Moses Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Coming soon, Missing 2, Double the Spence, Double the Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based the life of David, including 30 quiz of pains and King David Psalms. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and on Linktree, the Mike Wagner Show, 50 podcast platforms, 110 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok as well. And make sure you check it out today. We're here with an amazing lady who's an author and owner of a wonderful design company, independent author advocate, and 50 years experience in book publishing. Talk more about that. Her company makes it easy for authors to release top quality books and also have earn ways to make some money every time they sell. Gives tips on that, and also on a mission to help authors ask the right questions and make informed decisions about publishing the books. And has a new book or PDF out. It's a must read for new authors and want to get it right who self-publish. It's called a PDF published like the pros. Live, ladies and gentlemen, plus dudes in beautiful downtown Phoenix. The amazing author and owner of 1106 Designs and independent author advocate, 50 years publishing, with a book called Published Like the Pros in PDF, the multi-talent, Michele DeFilippo. Michele, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Michele. So you're an author and owner of 1106 Design and independent author advocate. You've had 50 years experience in book publishing. Your company, 1106 Design, makes it easy for authors to release top quality books and also keep control as well. You're also on a mission to help authors ask the right questions, make informed decisions, as well as publishing the books. And you have a new book, which is a PDF, a must read for new authors out there. Want to get it right, self-published, take the confusion of self-publishing. The book is called Published Like the Pros. Before getting on it, Michele, tell us how you first got started.
I'm sorry?
Tell us how you first got started.
Oh, gosh. Well, back in my first job in publishing was back in 1972 in New York, where I grew up at Crown Publishers. And it was truly an accident. It was the first company that offered me a job out of school, so I took it.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And that's how I got started. And I loved it from the very beginning and just stayed there in various aspects of publishing over the years. But that's how it started.
And how'd you first get into publishing? Did you go to school for it? Was it a hobby, or you just were working like somewhere and Crown just came calling? How'd you first get started, get involved with Crown?
Well, I went to school and studied graphic design, basically advertising design. I fully expected to work in ad agencies and that aspect of the graphic design business. But like I said, Crown offered me a job and I took it, and that's how I got into the publishing arena. And it was great from the start because every job was different. There was no such thing as boredom, and it was just very interesting from the start. Got to do some, I was a beginner and they were, of course, not paying me anything at all. But I got to work on some great projects and they benefited and I benefited. So it was good.
Oh, wow. What are some of the projects you've done with Crown?
Oh, Crown was a baby publisher at that time, and they were still finding their own direction. I did album covers, I did book covers, I did catalogs. One aspect of their business at the time was to buy up books from publishers, books that weren't selling, and they would buy them up and offer them cheap to the public for through a catalog called the Publishers Central Bureau. And one of my jobs was to just lay out that catalog and put in all the little book blurbs that they were going to feature that month or that week, whatever it was. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so amazing. So in other words, you took books that did not sell at all, and you simply just rebranded, but offer a lower price. Is that right?
That's what Crown did, yeah. And I was.
Oh, they did. That is so amazing. We
Yeah.
we guys like the first to do that, or was it like other publishing companies that did that same lines, like buy up books that weren't selling, just simply rebrand them, but offer a cheaper price?
I honestly don't know. I was just a newbie then, so they told me to work on this catalog, and that's what I did.
Oh my gosh. And what was that one exact precise moment that simply influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
Well, my husband and I at the time decided we had come to Phoenix to visit my grandparents who had retired here, and we loved it. And we decided let's pick up and move from New York to Phoenix. And we assumed that it would be just as easy to find a job in Phoenix as it was in New York. Well, at the time, Phoenix was a very tiny place. It wasn't the big city it is now, and so it turned out to be pretty tough to find a job. He was working at Jack in the Box and going to school, and I was working at a defense contractor and making minimum wage and couldn't do much better than that. So one day we just decided, let's start a typesetting business. I know how to type, and that was the beginning of my life as a business owner. And that worked out well for about 13 years. And that's when Steve Jobs invented the Macintosh, and that changed the typesetting business. It eliminated the typesetting business forever. All of my clients went out and bought Macs, and so that was not a fun period in my life. You haven't lived until you take apart a $30,000 typesetting machine and throw it in a dumpster.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nowadays, it's like they're like relics, and who knows, it may come back one day. You never know these days. But yeah. And who are some of your favorite books and some of your favorite authors growing up?
Oh gosh, I loved all the classic books, Hans Christian Andersen and all of those, and the nobody's heard of it. The Five Little Peppers was a
Hmm.
children's book series when I was a kid. That was great.
The
I
Five
can't.
Little Peppers. I'm trying to think.
It was a family, kids, five kids in a family, and it was one adventure after another, reading about them. And so yeah, I mean, I've always been a reader, and then of course getting into adult life, there was less time for that. I started making books instead of reading them, and that's
Uh-huh.
actually still the case.
Right. And plus you also created a book. You also have your own company as well, too. I talk about Michele DeFilippo of 1106 Design and her book, Published Like the Pros. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at SoundCloudStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SoundCloud Studios is the answer. SoundCloud Studios offers fast, affordable, customized designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, one target, where truth is illusion and those will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and Evil Evan endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many else. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2, Double Spence, Double the Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based the life of David, including 30 exquisite pains and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives new perspective. David through the Psalms he wrote as the time of shepherd started and complicate your turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and our link tree at the Mike Wagner Show. 50 podcast platforms, 110 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Also, Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok as well. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with amazing author, owner of 1106 Design, and independent author advocate, 50 years of experience in book publishing, Michele DeFilippo here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about Published Like the Pros, 1106 Design, basically, you're on a mission to help authors ask the right questions, and you do all kinds of things. And tell us more about the company.
Well, I started 1106 Design in 2001, about when self-publishing started to take off and become popular. I knew I had the publishing experience and the typesetting company had imploded, so it
Hmm.
was a good timing in that regard. Now, when I started 1106 Design, everyone understood that self-publishing means the author is the publisher. And the author should have full control of the book and should get all of the revenue from sales when a book is sold. And that was an earthquake in the publishing industry. But over the last 20 years, it's become self-publishing has become misunderstood. It has become misunderstood as do-it-yourself publishing, which is has led to an avalanche really of poorly prepared books. And it's also become misunderstood in the sense that authors think they need a publisher. And I understand it's probably instinctive to go look for a publisher after you've completed your manuscript, but that's not what self-publishing really is. Self-publishing means you are the publisher. And some of the publishers in the space right now are just to be blunt about it, taking advantage of authors, and they're taking money out of their pocket when a book is sold, even though they have charged the author to produce a book, which is something that traditional publishers never did. Traditional publishers used to bear the expense of producing the book, and then they would pay the author a small royalty. And that was fair because the publisher deserved to make back its investment. Well, these newfangled publishers do not have an investment of the book. They're charging the author for those expenses, and they're still taking money out of the author's pocket when a book is sold. So that's what prompted me to become a guest on podcasts and try to get the message out that there is a better way to self-publish. And that's what we do. We help authors with the services they need to produce a top quality book, and we help them get set up with print on demand printing and distribution in their own name so that they get all the money when a book is sold. We don't take a penny of their revenue when a book is sold.
Mhm. And what are your thoughts on hybrid publishing? That's been the big thing these days. Taking traditional publishing and self-publishing, hybrid publishing. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's the new word. After self-publishing got started, we started seeing self-publishing companies crop up, and they got a bad reputation because of the way they behaved. And so I can't remember the year exactly, but at some point we started hearing about hybrid publishers. But it's the same thing. The hybrid publishers charge the author to produce the book, and they still take money out of the revenue, out of the sales revenue on the back end. Now, to be fair, there's some great hybrid publishers, and if they participate financially in the project, for example, if they charge the author to produce the book, but then they pay for the marketing, then that's an ordinary business partnership, and that's fair, and that entitles them to some of the revenue from sales on the back end. But many of them they call themselves hybrid publishers, independent publishers. Now they're dropping the adjectives altogether and they're just calling themselves publishers. Many of them don't participate financially at all in the book.
Hmm.
And so you've got this the author who is hopeful wants their book to be a success, of course, and they're unwittingly signed up with somebody who is really not working in their best interest at all because the author is paying the business's expenses and the business is reaping the profit on the back end. So it just doesn't make sense to me, and that's why I found the courage to start doing this.
Right. And what about some of the other services, that they really need besides editing, cover design, and everything like that? What is the other essentials that an author needs?
Well, the biggest misunderstanding in the field today is that authors should produce their own book, either by using some kind of automated system or laying out their own cover or hiring somebody on Fiverr. And that's not the way a book is. Good books have been produced for as long as good books have been produced. So the typical services that we offer and that most authors need is starts with copy editing of the manuscript. You need a fresh pair of eyes to look at those words and make everything read smoothly and be accurate and enjoyable for the reader. The next thing we do is cover design. And while editing is taking place, we start the cover design, and we start where if you're working with a cover designer and their first question is, "What do you want?" That's a problem. You should run away. What we do is we start the cover design process with research. What are the major publishers doing now in that genre? What do the covers look like? What's selling? And then we base your cover on what's selling in the marketplace, and we do that design to traditional publishing standards with great typography, composition, color, the whole 9 yards that involves cover design.
And,
Then,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, what are some of the more popular genres out there right now, or more of the up and coming?
That's hard to say. I mean, there's, I would, generally speaking, I would say a nonfiction book is easier for an author to sell than fiction, because with nonfiction, you can more closely target your intended audience in your marketing. And so that's a little bit easier to make money in than fiction, which is basically viewed as entertainment. And yes, there are fiction genres, but nonfiction is easier to sell into market.
And what about interior page design? You have the book covers, everything like that. How about interior page design?
Oh yeah, that's an area of great misunderstanding. Book pages have always been typeset very carefully by people who specialize in book page design. It's called book page composition. But nowadays, authors think they should format their own pages in Microsoft Word or some other automated system. And they don't know the standards for book page composition. And so, of course, the result is filled with mistakes and difficult to read text. It's not just, to channel Steve Jobs, design is not just about decoration, it's about communication. So if the pages of your book are not properly typeset and the spacing is bad and there's all kinds of distractions in there that stop the reader from comprehending your text, that's really not a good thing. So that's the role that book designers and book typesetters play, is to make those pages easily navigable, accessible, beautiful, and easy to read.
And how about some of the steps towards a publishing quality professional books? It's like there are 6 steps, and tell us about those.
That's right. The next step after typesetting is proofreading, because no matter how many times you proofread your Word file, once the text is properly set, all sorts of mistakes show up, and that's why we proofread the formatted pages one last time to make sure that everything is set to go and nothing has slipped through the editor's attention or the typesetter's attention, and so the book is as good as it can be. And after that, then we make an ebook, and then we get you set up this is the important part, in the distribution channels in your name, not in a publisher's name, not in anyone else's name, in your name, so that when a book is sold, you get the sales reports, you get the bank deposits, and you know exactly what's going on, and you never lose control of your book.
That is so amazing. And I think about it, Amazon has been the big number one. How does your service compare to Amazon
Well,
when it comes to
Amazon
selling
used
it?
to offer book prep services. They got out of that now, and they've gone to the automated system where authors can dump in a manuscript and something that looks sort of like a book pops out the other end. But again, it's not. If it, I think authors should spend more time in physical bookstores and actually start studying what those books and what those pages look like, and then they will be able to understand better, I think, because they'll see it, that a book laid out in Microsoft Word, a book that cover that's designed on Fiverr, just doesn't come up to the professional standards that are required.
And how much does it actually cost to produce a book to traditional publishing standards? And what's the cost of it? Traditional publishing, hybrid, self-publishing. What does it cost to produce a book in the traditional standards?
Well, traditional publishing, the author pays nothing. The publisher pays all the expenses. All the author does is contribute the manuscript. The publisher runs with it, changes the book to suit its own sensibilities. And then when a book is sold, the publisher pays the author a small royalty, maybe $1 a book. The hybrid publishers we just talked about charge the author to produce the book, varying amounts. I've seen any from a couple of $1,000 to produce the book, all the way up to $30,000.
$30,000? Oh
It's
my
cr
gosh, I can't imagine what book it is, really.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, I guess in a way it's business smart, because you don't have to work very hard to make a living at that
True,
rate.
yeah.
At that rate. But for us, a typical 200-page fiction book would be about $8,000, and a nonfiction book around 9,000. And that's beginning to end. All we need is your manuscript, and we'll do everything I just described, from editing to ebook to upload, for you. And, you know, of course, it depends on the length and complexity of the book. We've done some really big books, like an 850-page biography of Winston Churchill. And so that was significantly more than $9,000. So it just depends on what your book is. And then we'll be happy to give you a custom quote.
Oh, that's great too. And plus, you also have a book out as well too, which is a hot seller, published like the pros with author Michele DeFilippo of 1106 Designs. We'll get to that in a minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mostly and Missing, the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including theories, quiz of pains, and King David Psalms. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. We'll be back to the multi-talented Michele DeFilippo of 1106 Design and published like the pros after this timeout. We're back with the multi-talented Michele DeFilippo of 1106 Design and the PDF published like the pros on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us more about the book. If you want to show it off, feel free to do so as well.
Sure. This is my book. It's called Publish Like the Pros. It's a quick read, 88 pages, and I actually give it away on my website for free. All you need to do is plug in your email address and we will send you a PDF of the book. And it is what it says on the cover, a brief guide to quality self-publishing and an insider's look at a misunderstood industry. So it's basically a summary and a little more detail of what I'm talking about here.
And of course, self-publishing is perplexing, ever shifting, and all that. What's the current advice right now for authors out there who want to get into self-publishing and especially keep up in changing times?
Just know what you're getting into, educate yourself, and there are a couple of red flags, 4 red flags actually, that will help you identify a problem publisher. One of them is that they will give you a free ISBN. Now, an ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. It's the model number for your book in the publishing industry. So the ISBN identifies the publisher and the title. So anyone who gives you a free ISBN becomes the publisher of your book. It sounds like a great benefit, but it's really bad. It means somebody else is publishing your book, not you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The other red flag is promises to make your book a bestseller. A lot of these companies are just cheating Amazon's algorithm. They'll pick some obscure category and get you and 100 of your best friends to buy the book within a 45-minute period. And Amazon's computer thinks, wow, this book is flying off the shelves. We're going to put a bestseller tag on it. So and then, of course, the author and the publishing company take a screenshot of that. And then for all time, the author that you never heard of claims to be a best-selling author. So again, it's one of the scams that's out there. The other red flag is payments in royalties. Okay. What that means is the publisher is publishing the book, they're getting the bank deposits, they're keeping some of that money, and they're paying you only a small portion of it called a royalty. What you should get when you control your own publishing enterprise is the full compensation that anyone can make in the book industry. Now, retailers take their cut. Amazon takes 40% of the cover price. Ingram Spark, which is the other print-on-demand platform, takes 55% to feed the physical bookstores. And then you have to pay for the printing, which is maybe $3 or $4 a book. So on a $20 book, minus the wholesale discount, minus the print charge, the net to the author should be about $6 to $8 per book. So you need in your mind to compare that to what these publishers are promising you, which is $2 or $3 a book. I've heard figures as low as 90 cents for a royalty. So,
oh my goodness, makes you
yeah.
wonder who.
And that's if you, but and that's if the publisher actually pays them. There's plenty of horror stories out there that authors spent the money, paid the publisher to produce the book, and then never saw a penny. So there's a lot of mischief in the field right now, and it's unfortunate.
Or never heard from the publisher or editor again. That's even worse.
That's right. As soon as the check clears, all of a sudden they can't get a hold of the publisher. There's no response to their emails, and it's just, in some cases, it's outright fraud. In fact, a couple of them were arrested for fraud, and they opened up the next day under a new business name. So.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of that going around as well too, and maybe just a bit of an excerpt from your book as well, Michele. We'd like to hear more about an excerpt, quick excerpt. A quick excerpt. I can't say it right.
Well, I've pretty much told you everything that's in the book here. I don't know what would you like me to read?
Or you can just flip and pick and everything, maybe recap one of the more important points. And for authors out there, you might want to pay attention, especially on the most important key point. What is happening right now, basically.
Well, gosh, I guess the most important point is to educate yourself so that you know the different publishing models and you understand who's doing what to you in the publishing space. My vote will always be for the author to keep control of their book so that they know what the sales are and they get the deposits directly to their bank account, and nobody else gets in the middle of that and can get in the way of that.
Okay. And how do people get a hold of your service, and what's your website, and how people contact you?
Okay, our website is 1106design.com. We believe in 100% transparency, so you can go there. You will see our services, our pricing, educational articles, blog posts, design samples, cover and interior design samples. And you can contact us when you're ready with a contact form. And we will not put you into an automated system where we send 5 emails a day and hound you until you respond. We will contact you. We'll have a friendly, no pressure conversation and see if we're a good fit.
Sounds great. And how about the PDF? How do they get a hold of it?
And on the website, you'll see this book cover published like the pros, and you plug in your email address. That will subscribe you to our newsletter, which comes out twice a month. And you can unsubscribe at any time. You'll still get the free book.
That sounds great. We want everybody to check it out, including the authors that are watching or listening to this episode. We're here with the amazing author Michele DeFilippo, published like the pros, and the owner of 1106 Design on the Mike Wagner Show. Michele, just a few more things. What else can we expect me to wrap up 2025 and go into 2026 and beyond?
Well, we always want each year to be better than the last one, and we love helping authors, especially when we know we can teach them the right way to self-publish. We love creating great books. And I guess one last thing I would say is that the author shouldn't have to know what they're doing when they enter into an arrangement with a company. I believe a company has an ethical responsibility to tell the author the truth, to educate them. And then if it's a good fit, great. If it's not, that's okay too. But some of the tactics in the marketplace right now, the high pressure salespeople, giving the author fake deadlines where they have to sign up by this date and this time or else, that's just not the way to do business in our view.
Right. And I think that is really important as well. We want everybody to pay attention on that one. Who do you consider biggest influence in the career?
Steve Jobs, far and away. Of course, he put my typesetting business out of business, but he's changed and improved graphic design forever, made it so much easier to do our job. When I first started in the business, we would quote unquote paste up that catalog I talked about, razor
Uh-huh.
blade, razor blades and rubber cement and all. I don't know how we got anything done.
Oh yeah, I remember the razor blades. That's right. They were the ultimate cutting tool. And of course, you can thank Steve Jobs' girlfriend Lisa for replacing typesetting. Lisa was the main responsibility. Remember the Lisa, the first Mac, they call it the Lisa.
Yeah,
Blame Lisa. How's that?
yeah. Well, we thought when I owned the typesetting business, we thought the Macs were a toy. We didn't take them seriously soon enough, but it eventually put us out of business.
But then you also got a good thing as well. Mac and Lisa just benefit as well. Here, amazing author Michele DeFilippo, published like the pros, owner of 1106 Design, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Michele, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people check out your services and check out your book?
Thank you, Mike. One more time, 1106design.com is our website, and we would love to have a personal consultation with you. No pressure, I promise.
We will certainly have everybody check that out and get in touch with you. Once again, Michele, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish all best. And Michele, you definitely have a great future ahead.
Thank you, Mike.